Tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of Potomac season. I don't even know. Season 5, episode 9, The Fight. So listen, I'm not going to get into who was right and who was wrong. We've already had that conversation, and you can't make everybody happy because Team Monique is going to say, hey, Candace provoked it. She put her fingers in Monique's face. She said, hey, drag me. Team Candace is going to say, but she put her hands on Monique first and grabbed her wig and whatever the situation is. So I ain't going to get into who's right, who's wrong, who I think is right and wrong because it just don't matter. What I will say is, Monique had that damn wig for dear life, honey, and it took about, I don't even want to exaggerate, but it was at least 8 or 9 people trying to get Monique to get her hands off Candace's wig, and she was holding Candace's wig, and she was hitting her, and child, it was a lot. It was a lot. Monique was upset, and Monique was at that point, you get to a point when the adrenaline gets started, and you fighting, it takes you a minute to come down off that. And they got Monique separate from Candace, and they trying to get Monique to calm down. And what is Candace doing from the other room? Yelling at her, calling her a ghetto ass B, and she's this and she's that. So what was Monique doing? Monique was like, oh, I am? Okay, I'm gonna show you how much of a ghetto B I am. I'm gonna show. And she left out. Now, here's what I'm going to give Karen. Karen was like, what y'all not going to do is y'all not going to throw Monique under the bus. Y'all not going to turn this into a Monique situation. And I'm about to go check on my friend. And she tried to go check on Monique, honey, but production was not letting Monique out that room. But let me tell you what Monique did. Monique found the back door. Monique went down them steps, around the corner, up and down and through them woods. And they was trying to get Candace in that SUV and get her the hell away from there. And Monique found Candace, honey. And Monique got to running. Listen, let me tell you something. Whoever was working security, they just need some extra. Get them double pay because they was on it. They was ready, honey. They was ready. So anyway, but they got Candace away, and Monique was talking to Ashley and Karen, and again, I'm not defending y'all. I'm explaining. If you have ever been in a fight, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody who's never been in a fight, you might want to sit this one out because you don't get it. But if you've been in a fight, you understand. If you feel like it is unfinished, you want to finish it. And Monique couldn't get to Candace, and Monique started talking about something. Don't bring her around me again. I'm going to whoop her ass again. And then I'm going to kill her. Did Monique literally mean she was going to kill Candace? No. But again, I got to give Karen kudos for saying, Monique, I want you to. She basically told Monique, shut the fuck up and go to hell home. Because she as the friend knew and understood the gravity of what Monique was saying and how it was going to be played and what that was going to look like. Honey, it was another part when they first got Candace away from Monique, honey, got them hands off of her. Listen, Karen was trying to pull Candace, and Candace was like, I'm fine, leave me alone, I'm fine. Monique, look, Karen said, girl, I got your wig, get your ass over here. Like, I'm trying to get you away from the camera. Because Candace did look a little crazy. She was like, it's my wig? It's my wig? Now, listen, Candace, whoever does your wig installs, I hope you tip them well because, bitch, that wig didn't move. I thought it was a weave. I didn't know it was a wig. Y'all know I don't know about these things. I thought the girl had a weave, but, bitch, she said, did my wig come off? Whoever lays your wigs, Candace, you better give them a bonus. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So the next morning, of course, so on the way home, Monique calls Chris and Candace. Well, they both called in Chris's, and you can hear Monique's Chris is just not here for it. Like, he is over it. He is not here for it. He don't like it. He was like, this is embarrassing. This don't make no sense. Like, he was not here for it. And Monique wasn't here for it either. Monique wasn't trying to hear it. Now, Candace's thing is this. Look, I was a real friend to her. I don't understand what her issue is with me. I don't understand how we got here. But I know that I have apologized to her about everything that I thought she was mad at me about. And I don't know what else I can do. And Monique's version of it is Candace just thinks she can keep talking shit and saying whatever she want to say to people, and it's not going to be no consequence for it, and I'm tired of it. So both of them have their own version in their own mind about what the other person did or did not do. Whatever. Karen's thing is, listen, I don't know if these two will ever be friends again, but they're gonna have to figure out a way to talk it out and figure it out. Now, fast forward again, this was a year ago, y'all. Well, give or take a year ago. Yeah, it was about a year ago. So fast forward to where we are now. Y'all already know where that situation is now, honey. It got, So the next morning, again, all the ladies are talking about it. Robin and Gizelle. Oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. How did we get here? We don't do this. This is not the kind of stuff that we do. We don't do these things. Oh my gosh. And I blame this on Monique. This is 100% Monique's fault. This is all on Monique. And I'm like, okay. Gizelle is packing the girls up. They on their way to Atlanta for the weekend to go to the relaunch of the restaurant that Jamal Bryant bought for the girls. And they're going to, go have a weekend down in Atlanta. So we'll get to that in a minute, child. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get Ashley. Wendy, we had a little nothing scene with Wendy talking about, she gets on TV every day to speak, and this is just not, black women, blah blah blah. That wasn't nothing. Then we have a scene with Ashley and Michael, right? And Ashley is talking to Michael and letting Michael know, listen, so when did you feel like, when did we get here? When did you start feeling unloved, unneeded, unwanted in this relationship that you felt like it was alright to go down to the MGM and pick you up a scrapper and take them down to the hotel? Please tell me when that happened. Explain it to me and let me know. I need you to tell me to tell me to tell you. Okay? And he was basically saying how, with everything with the baby and, he just wasn't getting his time. And, the intimacy wasn't there. Because remember, Ashley said that they've been having some issues with the intimacy after the baby and, that kind of thing, And listen, let me just cut through the bullshit. This is what it boiled down to, okay? Ashley was good time girl. Ashley is maturing. Ashley is getting older. Ashley don't want to do them things they used to do. Don't want to play them games they used to play. And Michael is like, okay, well, it's time for me to replace you. It's time for me to get a newer model, a younger model, because you are no longer doing the things that you agreed to do. Your contract says that you're going to do this, and that. And none of this was in the mix. Remember, Michael didn't even want a baby. So, and, Ashley says, well, you know what? Let me get a post-nup. Because I want to protect me and Dean if you decide to do this again. And she explained, she said, our prenup has expired. So at this point, if me and Michael get divorced, I get 50% of our assets. Now, mind you, she said our assets, meaning whatever they have collectively. I don't think it would extend to whatever he may have had. Again, I don't know. I ain't trying to be nobody's lawyer shit. She said 50% of their assets, okay? However y'all want to break that down. I ain't about to play detective on that one, okay? But she said that a post-nup would basically expedite the situation. And I'm sure add a few more coins into the pot. And he said, well, that's certainly something we could talk about. The question wasn't, can we talk about it? The question was, can we do it? So, we'll see how that works itself out, honey. But, trust and believe. And she got another baby on the way. Because fast forward a year, Ashley has is pregnant again. I'm sure Ashley secured the bag before she put another bun in that oven. And I wouldn't even be surprised to find out if part of the bag that she secured included provisions for baby number 1 and baby number 2. Okay? All right. Let's keep that one moving. All right. So that's them. So let's go ahead and talk about Gizelle and the girls going down to Atlanta for the weekend. And then we're going to finish up with... we ain't see Robin this episode. Robin ain't do nothing but talk about Monique was wrong, child. We talk about that. And we really didn't see Monique anymore this episode after she had her conversation with Chris. And Chris, while she was, that little girl, she was doing that little girl hair, honey. And Monique was so caught up in having that conversation with Chris. Lord, she was pulling that girl hair every which way. The girl was like, mommy, ow, it hurt, ow, ow. And she was like, I'm sorry, Milani. But I will say this. I'm not going to get too deep into that either, because if you follow Monique's Instagram, you know that Monique does that girl's hair religiously, and she puts them braids in there, and she makes it look really nice. And if the girl tender-headed, the girl just tender-headed. Like, child, it's whatever. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to give y'all a little bit of Karen and then come back to Karen. Let me give you a little bit of Karen. So it was Ray's birthday, and Karen decided she was gonna cook for Ray. But what she really ended up doing was having a private chef come over to cook for Ray, and she just added a little bit of this, a little bit of that, stirred the pot a little bit, and was like, voila. But they had a nice little dinner, and Karen said, I just feel like we are just not connected right now. And I know you don't really believe in therapy, so I know you don't want to see a therapist, but what about a life coach? And Ray was like, well, what's the difference? Like, I need to understand what the difference is between a life coach and, therapy. And so Karen explained it in a way that, he agreed to do it. So we'll get back to the life coach moment. Okay. Now, down in Atlanta, they land and they're staying at a hotel, and Gizelle was like, I think until the girls get more comfortable with the situation with me and Jamal, it's probably best that we stay in a hotel. How about y'all ain't married yet, and so it's probably best that y'all stay in a hotel because he's the pastor of a mega church and they might not be cool with that. How about that be the reason? But that lets me know that when you go down to Atlanta by yourself, that's where you stay, is at his house. So she ends up going to breakfast with her dad. She was like, listen, my dad don't know about me and Jamal, and I don't want him to find out in the blogs. Jamal is not his favorite person for obvious reasons, so I need to let him know. Now, here's the other thing that I found to be very interesting. She said that her dad is from New Orleans, but after her parents got divorced, he moved to Atlanta. But she was talking, and she said the girls hadn't seen their grandfather in a while. But obviously, you hadn't really seen him either, because how many times you been flying back and forth down to Atlanta to see Jamal Bryant, and you ain't visit your daddy? Because one, he ain't know y'all was dating, and two, it seemed like you hadn't really seen him in a long time either. That was crazy. But she did tell him while they were at breakfast, that they're dating, and, that she's seen this, but, that whole little song and dance she been giving everybody. Things are different, and, I just see the maturity in him, and I just see him doing great things. And she was like, he bought the restaurant for the girls, and tomorrow we're sort of doing the relaunch. Because it's a restaurant that already existed, but he bought it, and they're going to kind of revamp it and relaunch it. And, she invited her dad to come, and he was like, yeah, I could do that. I'll be there. You could tell he wasn't enthusiastic about it, but I think for his grandkids is why he went. I think it was for the girls, right? And, so they're getting ready to go, whatever, and Karen is Gizelle is doing this whole song and dance about how great that, Jamal is taking care of his kids, and he's creating generational wealth, and this is a great thing for them because they'll have a business in their name, and they're going to be working in the business. They did a whole walkthrough of the restaurant and showed the girls where everything was, and, that when they come down for the summer, that's what they're going to be doing, is helping to take care of, working in the restaurant so they can learn the business and stuff. And why the producer gonna say, so how many kids does Jamal have? Gizelle gonna say, that is something that that is something that I have chosen not to speak about, because that's not fair to the kids or to Jamal, or to their mothers. I said, I can respect that, but I also think you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to talk about it. Because you don't want to admit, or how many outside relationships he has. Or had. How many churn exists outside of your three. So anyway, they do, God darn, y'all, I'm sorry. Group chats. Lord have mercy. So, they end up going, I said they have the whole ceremony, and it was nice. Jamal said a few words and things like that. And then they're having dinner at the restaurant, and Giselle's dad gets up to go to the bathroom, honey, and you can hear him on the mic. He was like, you can go and take the mic off of me. I'm done. And the producer was like, you're done? He was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to go home. He was like, because, she's making a mistake. And, I ain't even going to be here for that, He got 6, 7 baby mamas. Like, why would you even want to put yourself in the middle of that? So, yeah, I'm good. Baby, I said, you better tell him, Daddy. Daddy said, I'm not here for this. I'm not here for the shenanigans, okay? And I'm done with this. I said, I know that's right. I wonder how Gizelle felt when she saw that playback or talked to her dad, like when he ain't come back from the bathroom. Because he said he was done. Last but not least, let's get back to Kern and Ray. So they bring in the life coach, which is actually a friend of Karen's. She's a radio host, and she hosts a show called Pillow Talk that deals with couples and helping them find the spark, right? And so they have the conversation, and it's like, well, what about Gizelle? Do you like? What are the things you don't like? What are the things that that bother you the most? And he said something, and I thought it was very interesting what he said. He said she never cooks anymore. And she took that to be offensive, like, I just want my woman in bed, in the kitchen cooking. But I didn't take it that way. I took it as that was something that you used to do that he really enjoyed, and you don't do it anymore. And he even connected it to, I realized that she wasn't cooking for me. She was cooking for the kids. Because when the kids left, she stopped cooking. So was it really about me, or was it about the kids? And I was like, you know what? I can see that. I can understand it. Now, I'm not saying that, but I can understand where he's coming from. He said, she cooked for me the other night, and I really enjoyed it. It was really nice, And then when she said, asked Karen, what was it about him that bothered her or whatever, she said his snoring. So I feel like their issues aren't that damn deep, But it's the kind of stuff that continues to pull you further and further apart if you don't talk about them. Now, here's where it got deep, though. She said, well, Karen, are you in love with Ray, and how do you know? And Karen says, I'm absolutely in love with Ray, and I know because I don't want to think about living my life without him. She asked Ray, well, are you in love with Karen? And Ray said, first he paused, which then he said, I believe so. Karen was like, and listen, I wasn't even looking at the screen when he did that. I was like, because I said, what? I believe so? And he said, listen, I know, 15 years ago, I knew what that feeling felt like. He said, and, I know I do love her, but, I just don't have that same feeling anymore. So I believe I do. I said, oh my God. And so they ended the session, and she thanked them for their honesty, and that, that they only scratched the surface, and that they needed to keep talking and keep working through some things. Baby, as soon as that woman left, Karen flipped off them heels, honey. And she told Ray, he said, well, at least I'm being honest. She said, oh, I appreciate your honesty. That does not mean I have to like it. And she took her ass up them steps, baby. And Karen went in that closet, told them producers to take the mic off of her, and she was in tears. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Like, I get it. I feel how she feels. You know what I'm saying? And then you on camera, so you got to maintain a certain level of something. Baby, I thought this was a fake storyline, but I don't know, y'all. I'm thinking maybe it really is some trouble in paradise over there. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.